Here in Lecture 3 we continue with agricultural legislation where a signature from the mayor seals any deed.
Lecture 3, Article 2. Organic legislation continued. This atmosphere created by the county is conducive to growth where, when following the law, in any county, prosperity is assured with time. So, if one follows the law, economics is not far behind. There is hope for a group of 17 nerds who formed a chess club and found joy and success at necessarily secret, semi-exclusively local, or internationally broadcast chess club tournaments on the same team under the Shelby County Pavilion. What the body decides under an amicable atmosphere where joy and success go hand in hand is protected by the county through the state. We are speaking of legal atmospheres where one is entitled to afford to pay more in taxes and the comforts that come with it, like knowing that we sleep in an area with less crime. The county provides a map of the jurisdiction under its auspices and who pays more in property taxes, so we will know the areas where crime is less will be where property is most expensive at fair market value. Those with bigger, better, or more expensive property have that reflect in their assessment and subsequent more attention when taxes are paid. It is not that it just so happened that cities arose of English-speaking people in the wilderness of North America, if it weren't for the pavilion of the county. The Board of County Commissioners adopts ordinances and resolutions where it is the mayor's decision to sign into law or veto the position, with the selection of the chairman and his or her extensions reserved. The Board of County Commissioners is in place to adopt ordinances and resolutions which they feel most beneficial for citizens of the county. We must assume that all citizens' opinions are as healthy as the next, and all would prefer advancement rather than regression. Who doesn't want clean water and fresh fruits and vegetables? Who wouldn't choose $2 over one or a new car before an old one? With that spirit, the Commission approaches every situation where more often than not the advancement of the county is actualized. We call this legislation organic because it advances where it may, when it can, not where it can, when it may. The former imposes if allowed, while the latter demands imposition when allowed. Being as least abrasive as possible, the administration of a county can't conflict with cities within that county. At times that can be a fine line treaded, but more often than not small advances and improvements are made without resistance. With the standard of living constantly increasing and technology constantly advancing, ordinances and resolutions are bound to be needed to keep up with the times. We never know how or when taxes will have to be raised to meet the demands of the modern citizenry. The county can't afford not to raise taxes, when accounting analysts inform us of situations we may not be able to fund in the future. Concessions have to be made somewhere or taxes have to be raised. It is a hard fact of life, but if it is voted that Shelby County Sheriff officers need the new Mossberg shotguns and field officers' vehicles, that money has to come from somewhere where often there is no other choice but to raise taxes. Just because the Commission votes on a position doesn't mean it becomes so unless a signature from the mayor where a veto may as well determine its fate. The Commission can't just do what it wants to do, as all ordinances and resolutions are subject to the mayor for approval, where he or she can either sign or veto what has been sent to their desk. The signature doesn't come without the mayor's understanding of the bill, where he or she either encourages and welcomes the bill, or, if he or she is unfamiliar, time is allowed for the mayor to get up to speed with it. With the mayor being the chief officer over the county, their endorsement can't come without full understanding and comprehension of what he or she signs their name to. Is it necessary? Is it beneficial? Is it too much? Is it not enough? The mayor has to ask all these questions when in consideration of whether or not he or she will sign the bill. Since any problem that arises will fall on the mayor, they have to know that they have such and such cars which need a new Mossberg shotgun, so they will know how much the bottom line should be. If the numbers are off, no mayor in their right mind would sign the bill, because they are the ones who will be held accountable. No one wants that, so they comb each bill with a fine-toothed comb, because they have to consider what commissioners legislate. Control of who becomes chairman of the commission and his or her pro tempore is solely reserved for the board. The board is thus only a group of citizens who want what is best for the districts they serve, being selected from amongst themselves. Self-governing, they choose from those elected who will become the chairman, his or her pro tempore, and other officers needed to maintain the chairman's position. This is a very significant position, as the chairman is next in line to be the county mayor, if anything were to happen where the mayor couldn't remain in office. The chain of command must hold true in order for our democracy to work, because there is only one thing worse than government, which is a lack of government. We can't afford for vacancies within our ranks, as the head legislative officer is prepared at any minute to become executive. The English would say, we can't begin England again, and neither may we restart America, as the chairman patiently awaits a situation that may never be. The Board of County Commissioners adopts ordinances and resolutions where it is the mayor's decision to sign into law or veto the position, with the selection of the chairman and his or her extensions reserved. As some people make decisions that others execute, there is a fine line between the two. Decisions from the county legislature are only hopes and dreams without the mayor's signature. Sure, it sounds nice to have the new Mossberg shotguns, but if the numbers don't add up, or the ends don't justify the means, if I were mayor, I know I would veto the bill. It wouldn't be my fault for wanting what we in all actuality can't afford. The chairman who could replace the mayor can't without the same problems falling on him or her.